Good morning. Today we will discuss another some basic concepts in C. On that one, C variables. A variable is nothing but a name is given to a storage area that our programs can manipulate. Each variable in C has a specific type, which determines the size and layout of the variable's memory. The range of variables of values that can be stored within the memory and the set of operations that can be applied to the variables. The name of variables can be composed of letters, digits, and other underscore character memory. The range of are values that can be stored within the memory and the set of operations that can be applied to the variables. The name of variable can be composed of letters, digits, and underscore character. It must begin with either a letter or an underscore. Upper and lower case letters are distinct. They are different because C is case sensitive based on the basic types explained in the previous in this one. Okay. Now, what are the different descriptions on that one? Honey, how you different variables? Character. Typically a single octet, 1 byte. It is an integer type. Typically is a single octet. Into the most natural size of integer of the machine. Float, a single precision floating point values. A double precision floating point values. Wide represent the absence of a type. These are some basic variables. In C programming language also allows to define various other type of variables, which we will cover in previous, that are pointer, array, structure, union, etc. Let us study only basic type of variables. Variable definition. A variable definition tells the compiler where and how much storage to create for the variables. A variable definition specifies a data type and contains a list of one or more variables of that type. Here are some list of variables. For example, type variable list. Type variable list. This is a syntax. Here, type must be valid C data type, including a character, W underscore character, int, float, double, bool, or any user defined objects. And a variable list may consist of one or more identifier names separated by commas. We have any type of separated by commas. For example, int I comma j comma k ended with semicolon. Characters c comma ch ended with semicolon. Float f comma salary average ended with semicolon. Double ended with double. You can give d, kd, fd, etc. The line int ijk ended with semicolon declares and defines the variable injk, which instruct the compiler to create a variable named I, j and k of integer type. You are given that for example int ijk, on that one you are the line int ijk declare and defines variables ijk and which instruct the compiler to create a variable named ij and k of integer type. These three are integer type variables. Variables can be initialized, assigned an initial value, in their declaration. The initializer consists of an equal sign of followed by constant expression. You are given that one. In case in previous one you are defined just like a int I j k and it is semicolon. Now we are given to that some constant values to some variables. For example, what are the syntax on that one? Type variable underscore name equal to value. Some examples are external int d is equal to 3, f is equal to 5. Declaration of d and 5 is the initial value is the 3. Int d is equal to 3, f is equal to 5. Here some constant values. Byte z is equal to 22. Character x is equal to with character you are given a character within a single quotation, that is a k single. Definition and initial values. See declaration of d and 1. For definition without any initializer, variables with static storage duration are implicitly initialized with null values. All bytes have the value 0. What is the null? All values must be 0. The initial value of all other variables are undefined. These are some examples of declaration. A variable declaration provides assurance to the compiler that there exists a variable with the given type and name, so that the compiler can proceed for the compilation without requiring the complete detail about the variable. A variable definition has its meaning at the time of compilation only. The compiler needs actual variables definition at the time of compilation only. The compiler needs actual variable definition at the time of linking the program. A variable declaration is useful when you are using a multiple files and you define your variable in one of the files, which will be available at the time of linking of the program. You will use the keyword external to declare a variable at any place. So you can declare a variable multiple times in your C program. It can be defined only once in a file, a function, or a block of code. For example, you can discuss a small example program. Okay, you see the program is say hash include stdio.h. What are that one? Your variable declaration. External int a comma b ended with semicolon. External int c ended with semicolon. External float f. You are defining different variables. Into main function, open braces started. Within the comment, a variable definition as follows: int a comma b ended with semicolon. Int c float f. Actual initialization: a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to a plus b ended with semicolon. Now we are given a printf statement. Printf in a bracket within the double quotation value of c colon percentage d right slash by n double quotation closed comma c bracket closed ended with semicolon. F is equal to 70.0 by 3.0. Printf in a bracket double quotation started value of f colon percentage f right slash n double quotation close comma f bracket close and it with semicolon, return 0. The code is declared and executed. What is this? It gives the production of values of addition. What is the value of addition? A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. The output to be value of C. What is the C? Where is C? Your C means that is A plus B. C is equal to A plus B. The A value plus B value, the added and it is stored in C. That is C is equal to value of C is equal to 30. Now you can go to the value of F. What is that one? 70.0 by 3.0. Why it is F is a floating point? For that 70.0 by 3.0, that value is the 23.33334. 4 threes, 1 2 3 4 5 threes, 23.333334. The value to be stored. Here you have some rules in for variable declaration. Given that values, there are two kinds of expression in L values and R values in C. What is the L value and what is the R value? Expressions that refer to a memory location are called L value expression. An L value may appear as either the left hand or right hand side of an assignment. A L value may appear as either the left hand or right hand side of an assignment. R value. The term R value refers to the data value that is stored at some address in memory. An R value is an expression that cannot have a value assigned to it, which means a R value may appear on the right hand side but not on the left hand side of an assignment. It is appeared in the right hand side but not appeared in the left hand side of an assignment. The R value. For example, int G equal to 20, a valued statement. 10 equal to 10, invalid statement. These two are some R value and N value. These two are defined as some R value and L value. Then we are discussed into some constants and literals. Some constant and literals. What is a constant? Constant referred to as a fixed values that the program may not alter during its execution. These fixed values are also called as a literals. Constants refers to fixed values that the program may not alter during the execution of the program. These fixed values are also called as a literals. Constant can be of any of the basic data type, like an integer constant. Already you know that different data types. A constant just like any of the basic data type, like an integer constant, floating point constant, character constant, or a string literal. There are enumeration constant as well as. These are enumeration constant as well as. A constant are treated just like a regular variables, except that their values cannot be modified after their definitions. For that constants are defined as just like regular variables, except that the values cannot be modified after the definitions. Integer literals. A integer literal can be a decimal, octal, or hexadecimal constant. What is the integer constant? Integer literal can be as a decimal, octal, or hexadecimal constant. A prefix specifies the basis of or radix. Ox or y, small capital Yx or capital Ox for a hexadecimal. O, capital O for octal, and nothing of decimals. These are some letters. A prefix specifies that base or radix of integer constant. Ox, that is small ox, and capital Ox. These are a hexadecimal. Capital O for octal and nothing for decimal. An integer letter can also have a suffix that is a combination of U and L. For unsigned and long, respectively. U means that is unsigned, L means long, respectively. The suffix can be uppercase or lowercase, can be in any order. For example, 212, that is for example 212, it is a legal. 215U, it is a uppercase, that is a unsigned value. Capital 0x feel, FEEL, that's value you are given some value. Zeros, that is you are given some following some, you are given some values. Floating point letters. A floating point line letters has an integer part, a decimal point, a fractional part, and an exponent. You can represent floating point letters either in a decimal form or exponent form. While representing decimal form, you must include the decimal point, the exponent, or both, and while representing the exponent form, you must include the integer part, the fractional part, or both. The signed exponent introduced by small e or capital E. Here some examples, you are given some examples of letters. In floating point, what are that one? 3.14151 This is a valid. It is a 314159 E minus 5L. This is the exponent, E for minus L. 510E. It is not a legal. It is why it is not exponent, is not completed. 210 X. No decimal exponent. R. Dot E55. Illegal. Missing integer of fractional part on that one. These are some floating point exponent. Then we are going to the next constant, that is a character constants. A character letters are enclosed in a single quotation. Example, single quotation X can be stored in a simple variable of character type. Simple variable of character type. A character literal can be a plain character. That is an example within a single quotation X. An escape sequence, example, backslash within a single quotation \t, or a universal character within a double quotation \u 0 to C0. There are certain characters in C that represent special meaning when preceded by backslash, for example new line backslash n or tab backslash t. String literals. String letters or constants are enclosed in a double quotations. Within a double quotation, a string constant character that are similar to characters, literals, plain characters, escape sequence, and universal characters. You can break a long line into multiple lines using string literals and separating them using white spaces. Here are some examples of string literals. All the three forms are identical strings. Hello, comma, dear, with these two are within a double quotations. These are some identical string variables. Hello, comma, backslash. Dear, that is closed from here. Here, comma, within a double quotation. These are some literals. These are some literals and constants. Now we have defining a constant. There are two simple ways in C to define a constant. Using hash define preprocessor using constant keywords. By using these two ways, you are defining some constants. The hash define preprocessor. Before every program you are using this form, hash define identifier value. This is the syntax of preprocessor. For example, you can follow this program. Hash include stdio.h, hash define length 10, hash define space width 5, hash define new line in a single quotation backslash n. Int main function, the open bracket started, int area ended with semicolon. Area is equal to length star width. Printf bracket within a double quotation value of area colon percentage d double quotation closed comma area bracket closed ended with semicolon. Printf within a double quotation bracket started within a double quotation percentage c bracket double quotation closed comma new line. What are they given a defining that constants and the defined value new value bracket closed ended with semicolon. Return 0 bracket is open closing bracket is over. The program is given output. What that one? What is the area? What is the main rule of area? That area equal to length into width. What is that one? What is the length? The length is a 10, width is a 5. The output of that one, see, area is stored length into that star indicates that is a asterisk indicates that a multiplication. These are data operators in C. Area equal to length multiplication with width, that is 10 multiply with 5, then the value is equal to 50. That value 50 to be stored in area. The value of area is equal to 50, that is stored on that one. We are going to another constant keyword. What is the output? What is the output of previous one? We are going to constant keyword. The constant prefix a declaration constant with a specific type as follows. You can see this program also. Hash include stdio.h int main constant int length is equal to 10, constant int width is equal to 5, constant character new line equal to within a single quotation \n single quotation close ended with a semicolon. Int area ended with semicolon. Area is equal to length into width. Same the program to be repeated. Small difference. Print bracket started within a double quotation value of area colon %d within a double quotation close comma area bracket is over return 0. When the code is complicated and executed, it produces the some result. What are that result? The value also same, which is given is the same value. This is the constant values. This is the constant values. Now we have declared up to some values in this one. Now you can go to the new topic, that is a storage classes. That is a storage classes. What are the storage classes? A storage class defines the scope, visibility, and lifetime of variable and or functions within a C program. They precede the type that they modify. We have 4 different storage classes in C. A storage class defines the scope of visibility and lifetime of variables and or functions within a C program. They precede the type that they modify. We have 4 different storage classes in C program. What are the 4 storage classes? Auto, register, static, extern. These are different storage classes. What is the auto storage class? You can define that auto storage class. The auto storage class in the default storage class for all local variables. This is the basic storage class for all local variables. The auto storage class is the default storage class for all variables. Open bracket int month auto int month. The example defines 2 variables within the same storage class auto can only be used within the function, that is a local variables. The above example defines 2 variables within the same storage class. Auto can only be used within the functions, that is a local variables. That is a local variables. The storage class, for example, you see that one. The auto storage class is the default storage class for all the local variables. Then we can go to the Next storage class, that is a register storage class. The register storage class is used to define a local variables that should be stored in a register instead of RAM. The storage class is the main used in the generally the variable stored in a RAM, but the storage class is stored in a register. The register storage class is used to define a local variables that should be stored in register instead of a RAM. This means that variables has a maximum size equal to the register size, usually 1 word. See guys, this is a very important. The values means that the variables has a maximum size equal to the register size. What is the register size? Usually is a 1 word, and can't have the unary ampersand or address operator applied to its, as it does not have a memory location. It means it does not have a memory location. It is also considered, see this one, the register storage, it does not stored in a RAM. It is stored in a register. The means the values maximum size equal to the 1 word, just like a 1 word. See that program also, one example, one syntax on that one. Register open braces register int miles ended with semicolon. In this one operation, the register should only be used for variables that requires quick access, such as counters. It should also be note that the defining register does not mean that the variables will be stored in a register. It means that it might be stored in a register depending on hardware and implementation of restrictions. Implementation of restrictions. It is a very critical to understand. The register should only be used for variables that require and a quick access, such as the counters. It should also be noted that defining a register does not mean that the variable will be stored in the register. It means that it might be stored in a register depending on our hardware and implementation of restrictions. These are some register specifications. In the previously the auto storage directly it is stored in the local variables. The register class is used to define and different elements. Then we can go to static storage classes. The next we can go to the static storage classes. The static storage class. The static storage class instructs the compiler to keep a local variables in existence during the lifetime of the program, instead of creating and destroying it each time it comes into a and goes out of a scope. Therefore, making local variables static allows them to maintain their values between the function calls. The static storage class instructs the compiler to keep a local variables in existing during the file lifetime of the program, instead of creating and destroying it each time it comes into and goes out of scope. Therefore, making of local variables static allows them to maintain their values between function calls. These static modifiers may also be applied to global variables. When this is done, it causes that the variable's scope to be restricted to the file in which it is declared. The static modifier may also be applied to global variables. So this is another advantage on the static variables. The modifier may also be applied to global variables. When this done in this definition, we are declaring the static storage declared. If it is done in this static, it causes that a variable's scope to be restricted to the file in which is declared. When it is declared within the restriction is only within the function. In general, this C program, when static used on a global variable, it causes only one copy of that member to be shared by all the objects of its classes. This is the main important. You can see this program. You are given one program on this one. See, it is very critical. What is the static to be used on global variables? It causes only one copy of that member to be shared by all of objects of its classes. See in this program, hash include stdio.h. That comment your the comment box, comment on that one. You have a function declaration void func func in bracket void function. Static int count is equal to 5. You are given here that value is the count 5. You are defined as a static variable. Int count equal to 5 is defined as integer type. That is a static int count. That means that this is the global variable declaration. Already you can define as a in comment. That is a global declaration. Backslash asterisk or star global variable star. You can end it backslash. That main function to be started here from our program. Main brackets, that function open braces started while count minus while function is over, another curly opening braces started. You are defined as a function here ended with semiline. One closing braces over, then return 0. Another opening braces closing braces over. You are going to the comment section. That is a function definition. Void function func of void. Another open braces started. That is a open braces started. Static int I is equal to 5. Here int I is equal to 5. It is a local static variable. Here I plus plus ended with semicolon. Printf, the within a double quotation, I is %d and count is %d \n within double quotation comma I comma count. Bracket is over, that ended with semicolon. Curly braces closed. The above is given some different examples. If I is equal to 6 and count is 4. These are some functions that is given some outputs. If I is 10 and count is 0. If I is equal to 9, count is equal to 1. If I is equal to 0, that value is to be given in this way. These are some static registers on that one. Then we are going to the external storage classes. external storage. This is the last storage classes on that one. What is the external storage classes? The EXTERN storage class is used to give a reference to of global variables that is visible to all the program files. When you use extern, the value cannot be initialized. However, it points the variable name at a storage location that has been previously defined. What is the external? The external storage class used to give a reference of global variables that is visible to all program files. These are all programs is a visible to all local variables. In previously, it is not visible on that global. It is only within the function. When you use EXTERN, that is extern, the variable can be initialized. However, it points the variable name as a storage location that has been previously defined. When you multiply files and you define a global variable or function, which will also be used in other files, then extern will be used in another file to provide the reference of defined variables or a function. Just for understanding, EXTRN is used to declare a global variable or function in another file. The extern modifier is most commonly used when there are two or more files sharing the same global variables or function as considered that in a programming. When you have multiple files and you define a global variable or function which will be used in other files, the extern will use it in another file to provide the reference of defined variable. The extern modifier is most commonly used when there are two or more files on that one. On that one, you have a see one example on that program. Hash include stdio.h int count ended with semicolon. Extern void write underscore extern write underscore extern within a function main function started, another opening brace started, count is equal to 5 ended with semicolon. Write underscore extend function ended with semicolon. The function the open braces, the closing braces is closed. You can consider another program. Hash include stdio.h extern int count ended with semicolon. Void write underscore external void open braces class started. Printf within a double quotation count is %d \n double quotation closed comma count. In these programs, extern used to declare a count in the second file in the second program, where as it has it defined in the first file name in C. Now compile these two files as follows. It will be count is given some 5. This way the programs to be run. These are some storage classes on the C.